Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of Show For You, which today we'll be going over the songs and singles Peaking and WTF by 12V. Now, this music not only has me really excited because I cannot wait for album 3 to come out, and based off like the variants and like the difference in all these singles that have come out recently, like Mercy, Midnight, WTF, and Peaking, they all vary a lot, and this has me like so absurdly excited for album 3, because album 3, I wanted it to be like a combination of experimental yet the same sound throughout, like just an improvement upon the second album, because the second album was really experimental and I enjoyed it, but I just didn't feel like it had as solid songs throughout. But I feel like if 12V keeps making the progression that he is, like he is currently, then album 3 is actually going to be phenomenal, because the experimentation, like the experimentality, that's not a word, but I'll use it, and just variants that will likely be on album 3 if these singles are anything to like regard it by, then it's going to be a utterly phenomenal album, another masterpiece. But yeah, I guess I can kind of over Peaking first, since it came out I believe 3 days ago, and I didn't know about it because I listened to 12 Feet predominantly on Spotify, and I had to check his YouTube channel. I was like, oh, there it is. But I went and checked it, and Peaking is honestly a very good song. I really enjoyed it because it kind of, at least in my interpretation, regards more to satisfaction within a relationship. When it's talking about just like learning about each other, knowing what someone's up to, and being satisfied. Because one of the lines are, if we die today, it would be fine, or something like that. And it's discussing how if one stopped living on a day, then it would be fine because of the satisfaction of a relationship. Now, I might be misinterpreting that, but I believe that the theme being portrayed in this is satisfaction with the relationship and being okay with death, because a peak has already been reached of happiness and experience, because one has nothing really else to look forward to because they have achieved what they believe to be the pinnacle of happiness. And I know that feeling because that is a great feeling to have, and it's so satisfactory when you can feel that emotion with someone. But then we go on to WTF, and WTF deals more with, once again, relationships, but it deals more with like the, I guess, conflict inside one, and the feeling of stagnation and worry and stuff like that. Because it talks about, there's one line that says, blank don't seem to change. So, but I can't say the actual line, but that is one fear that will always be ever prevalent in a relationship, is that stagnation will creep in and cause the eventual de-evolution of the relationship, which is terrifying, because anyone who's in a true and well-set relationship knows that they do not want stagnation to be there, because stagnation will kill it oftentimes. However, stagnation by itself isn't necessarily a, I guess, killer, because it can be compounded upon, it can be altered, and it can be a perfect accelerant for greater things, because if someone realizes, hey, this is getting a little stagnant, bam, we're going to have an even better instance than we did prior. But yeah, it just kind of discusses about like the conflict within oneself when in a relationship, and just the doubt and all of that stuff, which is very relatable, because I mean, anyone who's been in a relationship knows that they will feel doubts and worries of insignificance, inferiority, and stuff like that whilst in said relationship. And it's just really good to hear a song that like encapsulates that so well. That's one thing that is so phenomenal with 12V's music, is that it encapsulates actual human emotion in a stupendous manner. Because like, I know there's a lot of rappers out there and stuff like that, and a lot of music creators, but I've not yet to find, and I'm a immense fan of music. I love listening to about just anything, but I believe that there is something special with 12V's music in his encapsulation of human emotion and specific experiences, which I've held. I know not everyone's going to have had the same experiences as me, and I mean, I don't have the same experiences as 12V, but I am able to relate on them on a different level, because I'm able to, I guess, apply them to circumstances which I have been in. Kind of like with Stained. Like Stained, I haven't been through half of the stuff that Aaron Lewis and the Stained members have been through, yet I'm still able to relate to them through association. And 12V does that phenomenally, and he also does it with insane beats. Like, it is very difficult to pick between which one sounded better, between Peaking and WTF, because honestly, both of them were phenomenal sounding. Both of them, like I said, they had that nice new experimental sound that we really haven't heard from a 12V song before, which I loved, and I want to see more of that. I want to see that on album 3 so bad, and I cannot wait for album 3. Like, I'm so excited for it, because I'm so glad I discovered 12V, because he's genuinely became like one of the artists I listen to most at the moment. Like, I believe I listened to Obsessed like 4 times one day, and Mercy a couple times with him there as well, because I don't know, it just sticks in my head, and due to like the application I can apply to my life with it, it just doesn't get tiresome. Like, I don't get bored with the sound, and the beats are so fresh and phenomenal, and just, I guess, new, really. I mean, they're not new because that sound's been around for a while, but they're new. Like, I don't really know how to explain that. But yeah, like honestly, out of these two, I'd probably say WTF had the better beats in my opinion. I was just my taste, but Peking also had really good beats too. And I mean, it's kind of difficult to compare both of them together because they're two different songs. They're over two different topics, and then they're two different sounds. Like comparing WTF and Peking is like comparing like Peking and Mercy and stuff like that. They're two different songs. Like I prefer Mercy more because Mercy is a phenomenal song in my opinion. I made a 10-minute video on it, but yeah, I cannot wait to see more of this experimentality, and I honestly hope when it comes to album 3 that I can't compare the songs on there because they're so different and unique. Because when an album has variance, that it becomes a musical masterpiece. Because variance is what makes an album phenomenal. Now there is a place for albums with themes and like specific sounds and all of that. However, that is way too common in the modern era of music. Like I listened to "A Bully" by Kanye West, his newest album, and it just sounded samey. Like, it kind of reminded me of Yeezus a little bit, but I really like Yeezus more. But Bully was just redundant, and I hope and pray that 12V, even if 12V's album 3 is redundant, I know that it will still be really good. Because, I mean, like, look at Vice. Vice wasn't redundant, but it was very samey, but it was solid all the way throughout. So I know if it is samey, it's at least going to be solid all the way throughout. And, I mean, he's already made a great one with Vice, so I presume he can only compound upon that. And it would probably be even better than Vice. And Vice is a great album, in my opinion. But, yeah. So, I mean, that's all I really have to say about Peking and WTF. They were relatively short songs, so I highly recommend going and listen to them. They're only on YouTube right now, but they'll eventually be on Spotify, just like with Mercy. But it'll probably be like a couple days or so. Peking will obviously be a first since it came out first, but yeah, he's 12V on Spotify, 12V18 on YouTube, and his like actual content channel is Nico Not Nico. And speaking of that channel, I really hope that he keeps focusing on the music because his music is small, but he has a talent for it, and I really, really hope that 12V keeps focusing on this music and just continues to hone and perfect his craft. Because I believe if he does this, it will pay off one day. Because all it takes is one song, and I believe one song can appear very soon. Because like I said, Mercy, Obsessed, WTF, Peking Now, these songs are utter masterpieces. And these are just singles. Like, these aren't even album songs. And, like, Mercy, all three of these, like Mercy, WTF, and Peking, have already almost triumphed Obsessed for me, which I love Obsessed. So, yeah, I really just hope 12V keeps with it. And I know his kind of channel's growing. I'm very proud. Well, not proud. I mean, I don't know this dude personally, but it's good to see someone who's actually struggling go through this and experience growth at the rate he is. But I just hope he doesn't stop focusing on his music to focus on content, because he is a wondrous musician. I just cannot wait to see more of it, and I cannot wait for album 3. So like I said, that's all I really have to say about the singles, and all I really have for episode 63 of Show For You. So thank you very much for watching.